Hey guys, let's talk about the Tapo C615F KIT installation and setup. As you can see, this is a camera with the solar panel. I have everything here already unboxed, and the idea is just to show you how to install and set it up. So by the end of the video, you're gonna have the camera installed and ready to work with the cell phone. It doesn't matter if you have an iPhone or an Android device, you'll be able to see live video from the camera and also play the recordings from the SD card, okay? The idea is just to use an SD card to record, or you can also use the cloud so you can record on the internet, right? So basically here I have everything that I need. Here's the camera. Then I have the bracket that I can install the solar panel here on the top, and I can install the camera just right here. So in the same location, both of them, or you can install them apart, right? You can install the solar panel in one location and the camera in a different location and use the extended cord to connect both together, right? Everything here is ready for the installation. You don't need to buy anything because it comes already with the anchors and screws and also the templates for installation. A tie wrap here so you can organize your cables. And an SD card is an extra one that doesn't come with the kit, but I have the SD card here just to install on the camera and set up and make everything work, right? Let's just talk about the camera a little bit, then later we can talk about the accessories, show how it's going to be installed, and then you move to the setup and later the installation, right? So here is basically the camera. See here that the camera comes here with the lens, right? And then a sensor. This is the motion sensor. There's a LED for the status and also a microphone and the lights. So basically there's an infrared light and also the white lights. And here is the floodlight, right? And you see here on the back that you have a speaker and the USB port. It's a USB-C, so you can connect the cable here and charge the camera. Okay, super simple. Basically, here is going to connect to the solar panel, and the solar panel is going to charge the camera. Here on the bottom, you see they have this rubber flap for the microSD card. You can just turn off and turn on the camera from here and also reset the camera. Let's say you lose the password or something, you can reset the camera from here. Super simple. And also here you have the bracket. You're going to connect here just like so, okay? So you're gonna install this onto a wall and then you're gonna slide like this and snap it in place. So you're gonna have your camera installed just like this, right? And here on the top, you're gonna have the solar panel. Super simple. If you're going to release this one, you just need to press here and slide again and remove it, right? Let me just press here and release like this, right? So very, very simple. That's the idea. And here, let's talk about the installation, the screws that comes here and everything else. You see here that have the screws that comes that way already. If you're going to install the camera here and the solar panel here in the top, you're just gonna leave like this, right? Otherwise, you're gonna remove this. So here, you can use a screwdriver and remove this from here. There we go. And then you see this as separate brackets, one for the camera and the other one for the solar panel. Just separate them like this. You see here. Now you have this one. There is a template for the installation. So you can just drill the holes using the template, or you can use for this one. You see another template here that I'm gonna use, and you see that you have here the marks that way, you see here. So you're gonna use screws here and here on the bottom, right? Or an extra one here if you want to as well. The information here on the user manual is pretty good. So take a look here. You have all the information about charge the battery. So you just need to connect the power adapter to the camera to charge it. And then later the solar panel is going to keep charging the camera. Then you're going to set up the camera. That's step number 2. And then number 3, you mount the camera. You see that you have the camera mounting like this. Then you can just adjust the angle. There we go. All the instructions for the adjustment. And then the solar panel mounting. Okay, just mount this that way. You see here with the 4 screws at least. You put the mount onto a wall. You can also install onto a pole, for example, and then you just slide the camera here. Slide into place, and then you can put the solar panel on the top. Super simple. Then you connect the cable, and the cable is going to charge the camera, right? There's a small cable here as well if you're going to install like this, or a long cable if you're going to install separately, right? Here on the back you also see the mounting details, how to drill the holes, install the camera. You can install like this with a wall mount or eave mount, and slide the camera again. Super simple, right? Everything that you need here for the installation is in this guide, right? So let's just start here now with the setup, so you can set up the camera first before you install onto a wall or onto a pole or whatever you're going to use for your camera installation, okay? All right, so it's time for the setup. As you can see, I have my cell phone, and then I can just download the Tapo app from the App Store. Just go to the App Store and look for this app here. Just enter Tapo to search and look for the TP-Link Tapo. That's the one. You're going to download, create an account, and log in with your account, okay? It's a free account. And then you're gonna open the app like this, and you're gonna come here and hit this plus signal and add a new device, right? And then you're gonna look for an outdoor camera, and from here you're gonna find your Tapo C615F, right? Let me just turn on the camera first. You just need to come here and turn on the camera. Here on the bottom you see that you have this rubber flap, and from here you can just power on the camera. Then just approach here so you see better. There's this power button, okay? The camera is going to talk to you, so just press and hold here, and you're gonna hear a message.
Camera on.
There we go. So the camera's on right now. I'm gonna just put it here, and you see the camera is going to do this motion here, right, in the horizontal and then in the vertical, and the camera will be ready for the setup. You just need to observe the LED, and it should be flashing red and green. If it's not flashing, you just need to reset your camera. You see that I have the reset button just right there in the same location where you can install the SD card. You just need to open the flap here and press and hold the reset button to reset the camera, just if you don't have this LED here flashing, right? You see here, I have an LED that's going to be flashing. If it's not, like mine, something is wrong. Here the camera is already working, or with the setup with the cell phone, or something is wrong, right? So let me just reset here. If yours is not flashing, just reset it. So come here and press this reset button. Just move the way so you see better. See the reset button, press and hold, and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and let it go. So the camera is going to be reset, and you're gonna see the LED here flashing, right? So the camera is doing the movement again, the pan movement, and then the tilt, and now you're gonna see the LED flashing. And then here on the Tapo app, you're gonna look for your camera. Okay, let me just look here for the Tapo C615F. You can also search on the top. Meanwhile, the camera is going to be prepared for the setup. Let me just move here and see if it's flashing now. You see it, it's flashing red and green, so it's ready for the setup. Let me just come down, look for the camera. There we go, that's the one. Tapo C615F. Select this one, just confirm that you have the LED flashing red and green. Then you can continue. See here now the camera is going to be found by the cell phone via Bluetooth. Just make sure that you have Bluetooth enabled on your cell phone. There we go. Now it says this is a pre-configured device because I was just resetting here. And it's keeping the information, right, that I already have it there. The camera was working before and I have the information there. If yours is not like this, it's the first time they're installing, you're gonna see a different screen here. In this case, I'm gonna to reset the device to the factory default settings and start over, right? Either way, you're gonna see the flashing LED light there, right? So you see here again, the cell phone is going to connect to the camera, and then the cell phone can tell the camera which router to connect to. Basically, you just need to know which Wi-Fi router to use, and then the camera can have this information to connect to the Wi-Fi router, right? Again, you just need to wait a little bit for the camera can finish the tests and everything else. And then now you're gonna choose your Wi-Fi network. Just make sure that you have the password. In my case, is this is my Wi-Fi. So I just select this one, and here insert the password. I'm using a temp pass here just for the testing, but just make sure you have your correct password for the router. And then hit next, confirm.
Connecting to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi connected.
There we go. The camera talks to you about the connection to the Wi-Fi. And you just hear this chime. You can name your device. I will leave like this, Tapo C615F, but you can name the camera the way you want, okay? Like a front door or backyard, whatever you want to name it. Just hit next, select the location, hit next again, select an icon, next. Now it sounds good, it's complete, okay? Now it's time to select here the 30-day trial. If you want to record into the cloud, you have this 30-day trial, which is free, all right? And then after this, you're gonna pay a monthly fee to keep recording to the cloud, but this is not mandatory. You can just record into the SD card if you want to. I'm going to dismiss this. Okay, hit got it. And then you can install the SD card and the camera can record into the SD card. I have here this Lexar SD card. I'm gonna use this one, and I'll leave the link here in the description because you just need to get a good card. This one comes with 32 gigabytes, but you can have cards with higher capacity, right? And here's the speed and everything else, and the card works pretty good. And I also have here a Tapo hub on my network, so you can also record in the hub. Instead of recording to the card, you can record to the hub. And I'm gonna do this later because in your case, you're not gonna see this screen here. It's gonna come directly to the other screen here for the SD card, right? Then you just insert the SD card. You see here, there's information on how to do it. Basically, you're gonna open the flap here again, and there's the slot for the SD card, just right here. You're gonna insert facing that way, okay? So the front of the card is facing the lens, just like so, and you just push until you hear a click, close the flap here, and just continue, right? Put the camera back here and hit here, got it. And then there's information about the firmware update. The camera is going to be updated on between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. and got it. And we're good to go. Let me just put the camera back there. Here you see better, right? So you can just close the ports and everything else. Hit next. The camera is going to test back here. You see that I have the volume up. Let me just bring it down because there's audio loop here. The camera is going to test the Wi-Fi, so here is good. I don't need to test it again. Just hit next. And there's some information about the installation, okay, the way you need to install your camera. You can just read it and hit next. Here again, avoid placing behind glasses, pretty important, or otherwise you're gonna have a reflection. In here, mounts to the side, the way you can mount here, it's a better way to go. Don't mount to the top, just use this way to install the camera. Next again, here's some information about the how to adjust the angle. Next again, how to connect and charge the camera. Next one more time, here information about the solar panel installation. And I'm good to go here. I'm gonna close this wizard. And I have the camera working. See here, that shows up here as a Tapo C16F. And from here, I'm good to go. Let me just click here. And the camera is basically working back there. And I can initialize the SD card.
The SD card is not formatted. Please format it according to the app guidelines.
Okay, as you can see, the camera talks to you about the format SD card. If you don't see this information here popping up, you can just come here to the settings and look for storage and recordings. And from here, see local storage, and then you can format the SD card.
card is not formatted. Please format it according to the app guidelines.
Again, the camera keeps talking to me. I just come here and format the SD card. Usually it's pretty fast, but depending on the size of your card, it can take a longer time. For me here, it's pretty easy. You see here, format successfully, so it's basically working, right? And you see that's good. The camera is going to record, and there's the loop recording. Basically, the camera is going to delete the old videos and record the new ones. So it's going to be a cycle. You're always having some recording, some footage on the SD card, right? And the camera also comes ready for recording. You see here the recording schedule is going to record by motion detection every single day, every single hour. And then back here is going to do the local recording. Just make sure I have this enabled. It comes like this, but just double check. Record sound as well. In here on detection, you see the camera is going to monitor this zone. It's set for all, so it's going to monitor the entire area. And motion detection is enabled, and also person detection is enabled. You can just come here and adjust the sensitivity the way you want. And you can do this after the installation as well, okay? You're gonna have access to your camera the way you have here via cell phone, and you're good to go. As long as you have your camera ready to install, right? Just make sure that you have the router not that far away from the camera so the camera can reach the router after the installation, all right? If you don't have the router close to the camera, it's not possible to put close to the camera. You can also use a repeater to have a better signal, right? So that's done about the setup. Now let's move to the installation. All right, now it's time to install the camera. You see here that I have the bracket, and then I have also the templates. You can use the template just to mark the location. If you're going to install everything together, use one template like this. If you're going to install separately, you just need to use a second template here for this bracket. You're gonna move this bracket from here to here if you want it separately, right? In my case, I'm going to install everything together, and instead of using the template, I can also mark myself here using the bracket, okay? So let me just get this one so I can put it here, and I can just mark the location. I'm gonna use a hole that I already have here and mark the location for the other ones. There we go, I have my marks here, so now I can use a drill and drill the holes. There we go. If you're installing on a concrete wall, you're gonna just need to use the anchors and screws. It's not my case here. I'm gonna install here on this wood, so I don't need the anchors. There we go, and I'm going to use the screws here and secure the mount into place. There we go, I have the bracket in place. Now I just need to slide the camera like this and snap it into place. And then I just grab the solar panel, and there's here the indication how to slide the solar panel here on the bracket. I just put it here, slide into place, and then I can just connect the cable here back on the camera. So I just need to open here this rubber flap and connect the cable. There we go, just make sure the cable is well connected, and then I can turn the camera on. And now you're ready to go. You just need to come here, open this rubber flap, and press the button to turn on your camera. Just press and hold.
Camera on.
Just close the flap, wait for the camera to do the tests. It's going to rotate here in the horizontal, right? And then in the vertical, and it's good to go. You have your camera working, and then you can just connect your cell phone and check everything. And there you go, guys. Now I have the camera in its location, so it's basically working. I can just control from here using the pan and tilt movement. And the camera is basically working. Let me just move that way so you see how good it is. It's basically working. I have everything here to control the camera. I can take a snapshot, start recording here on the cell phone as well, and control the camera. You can also talk to somebody close to the camera using here the speaker and the microphone. So it works pretty good, and it's super simple to use. Back here I can control the light, turn off, and turn on the light back there. You see there's a small difference there because I already have some natural light around. So it's basically working pretty fine even without the light, okay? So now it's basically working. That's the Tapo C615F, and that's how to install and set it up. I hope that helps, okay? Please leave your comments here, subscribe to this channel, give your thumbs up, and I see you in the next one.